Shit, I'm not really sure what to do right now. And I shouldn't be saying shit, I know. My dad would kick my ass if he knew I was using, quote, bad words. But I'm sure he's going to kick my ass anyway when he finds out that I snooped in the one place he told me not to. See, my dad and I just moved to this new house in Dorchester, Massachusetts. No, I won't tell you the address. I may be a kid, but I'm not stupid. I know you aren't supposed to talk to strangers on the internet or take candy from creepy white vans or whatever. I probably shouldn't even be posting this, but I'm not exactly flushed with options right now, and no sleep seems like my only route for something like this. So, I guess here it goes. We moved into this old Victorian home because my dad got a new job offer in Boston. It was pretty sick. It had 5 bedrooms, a giant kitchen, a massive fireplace, and a decent-sized yard for still technically being in, quote, the city. The realtor didn't know much about the place, only that it has been unoccupied for a few years and was just recently renovated. Apparently there was a fire way back in the day or something. It was old too, like 100 years. Either way, I was psyched to live in a city and meet new friends. I thought it would be way more interesting than living in that small, shitty-ass town I grew up in my whole life. My dad let me pick whatever room I wanted and basically allowed me free reign of the house and the neighborhood. He had only one stipulation. I shouldn't go anywhere near the attic. So obviously that's the first thing I did. Apparently, the people who renovated the house had just boarded up the attic since it was basically useless. It was dusty, full of old, moldy shit, and, in my dad's words, quote, just plain dangerous. At first, I didn't see what the fuss was about, until I found the journal. It was tucked under a loose floorboard I'd tripped over. Guess you're right, Dad. As I rubbed my leg and let out a string of curses, I saw the journal peeking out from under the floor. I snatched it up and we scurried downstairs before my dad got home. The journal is pretty old and has a bead and black leather cover. It's written in massive, cursive scroll. I've transcribed its contents here. December 25th, 1944. Hello, my name is Mary and this is my new journal. Mommy got it for me for Christmas this year and I'm so excited. I've never owned a journal before. Mommy says they're for big girls, so I guess this means I'm a big girl now. Mommy says I have to be a big girl for her. She cried a lot today and said that Papa would have been really proud of me for getting so big. But Papa isn't here today. Mommy says that he isn't coming back from his trip. I miss him a lot, but Mommy said he's been really, really, really brave and I should be proud of him for defending our country. I don't really care if Papa is brave. I just want him to come home. Mommy wants me to come downstairs now to eat supper, so I have to say bye. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. January 2nd, 1945. Mommy had a really loud party the other night. There was lots of dancing and music that made my eardrums hurt. Mommy said I had to stay in my room and I couldn't come to the party because it was for grown-ups. I'm mad because she told me I'm a big girl, and big girls should be able to go to parties. I wanted to show Mommy how I could be grown up, so I went to the party anyway. I got all dressed up and everything. I wore my prettiest dress and put my hair in ribbons. I snuck down the stairs and almost made it to the dance floor before Jenny caught me. Jenny is our cook and she's real nice, but she didn't like me sneaking around. She told Mommy and Mommy got really, really mad. Mommy dragged me up the stairs by my hair and made me sit in the hallway on my knees. She told me I had to stay there all night long, and if I moved, I would be punished. I tried really, really hard to stay on my knees, but I got so tired. I must have fallen asleep because I was woken up by Mommy and her friend. They must have been dancing really hard because they were swaying and couldn't stand upright on the stairs. He kept grabbing at Mommy for balance, and Mommy kept laughing. I bet their feet hurt real bad. My knees hurt bad too. Mommy and her friend didn't pay me much attention. They went into Mommy's room and shut the door. The music played loud all night. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. January 26, 1945. It's been real cold and Mommy has been crying more. I think she misses Papa. It's his birthday today. Usually for his birthday, she and Jenny make a big cake and we all sit around the table and eat it until our bellies are sore. But Mommy didn't make a cake this year. When I asked Jenny why, she said that Papa doesn't eat a cake anymore because he's in heaven. I hope heaven has cake. I decided to make a cake anyway for Papa just in case. I wasn't sure what was in a cake, so I just added a lot of things we had in the kitchen. I was really proud of what I made, even though it didn't look as good as what Jenny and Mommy usually make. But I showed it to Mommy anyway. Mommy wasn't too happy with my cake. She wasn't happy with the mess I made either. She slapped me really hard and said that Papa would be ashamed of me. That hurt my feelings real bad. I love Papa and I wouldn't want to make him mad. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. January 28th, 1945. Mommy says I'm sick. She won't let me leave my bed. I feel fine, but Mommy says that's what all sick people say. Mommy must think I'm a liar. I don't want to be a liar. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. February 1st, 1945. Jenny came to check in on me and Mommy and her got into a real bad fight. Jenny says I'm not really sick and Mommy is just real sad, that's all. But that's not what Mommy says. Mommy says I'm too sick to leave my room. Mommy says the house is making her head fuzzy too. She gave me this medicine that made me feel real tired and sleepy. I felt like I was floating, but it tasted real bad. It made my tummy hurt. I hope I get better soon. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. February 4th, 1945. I heard Jenny and Mommy fight again. They didn't think I could hear them, but I could hear them through my door. Jenny says that she's taking me to the doctor, but Mommy says that she is the only one who can take care of me. Mommy says I have to stay in the house. She's been giving me more medicine lately. I get 2 spoonfuls a day. Mommy says it's because I'm a big girl and I need lots of medicine to make me better. I don't like the medicine. It makes my head and tummy hurt. I'm really sleepy, but Mommy says that's because I'm sick. I don't want to take the medicine anymore. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. February 27th, 1945. Jenny woke me up last night. It must have been real late because she told me to be really quiet so I wouldn't wake Mommy up. She came over to my bed and tried to help me stand up, but I couldn't walk. My legs hurt so badly. I don't know the last time Mommy let me stand. She says I'm too sick, but Jenny doesn't think that I'm sick. Jenny thinks something is wrong with Mommy. Jenny carried me out of my room and told me that she was taking me to a special doctor. She told me that I was safe now and I didn't have to worry. Mommy didn't like that. Mommy was waiting at the bottom of the stairs with a pistol Papa got her for her birthday. Mommy says I'm really sick and I need to go back to bed. Mommy is always right. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. February 28th, 1945. Mommy spent all day scrubbing the floors. She said there was a stain she had to get rid of. I asked her if Jenny could help her, and Mommy said that Jenny went away. Mommy said that Jenny is with Papa. I'm glad Papa has a friend with him now. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. March 17th, 1945. Mommy says the house hums at night. I tried real hard, but I didn't hear anything. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. April 3rd, 1945. Mommy had a bunch of people come over yesterday. They all came into my room and told me what a brave girl I was. They told me that my mommy is taking such good care of me. Mommy takes real good care of me. She now gives me 3 spoonfuls of medicine a day. She says it's because I'm getting bigger, but I feel like I'm getting much smaller. I've lost so much weight, and I keep finding clumps of my hair on my pillow. My tummy hurts real bad, but Mommy said she was going to make it all better. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. April 16th, 1945. I was in the paper today. Mommy showed me an article about us and how she is taking such good care of me. I look real skinny in the picture, but Mommy says that's a good thing. She says it means I'm getting better. And Mommy looks so stunning in the photograph. Mommy says that people are going to send us money so I can get better. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. April 21st, 1945. I told Mommy I don't want to take the medicine anymore. Mommy didn't like that. Mommy says that I'm a bad girl. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. May 5th, 1945. I have a secret. I haven't been taking the medicine Mommy gave me. I know that makes me a bad girl, but I don't care about being a bad girl anymore. I hide the medicine in my mouth and Mommy gives it, and I spit it right out when she leaves my bedroom. I feel much better now. My hair is starting to grow back, and I can actually eat the soup Mommy feeds me. Yesterday, I even walked across the room. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. May 6th, 1945. Mommy didn't like it that I've been taking my medicine. Mommy isn't happy with me. Mommy cried when I told her I was feeling better. She slapped me across the face and told me how ashamed Papa would be of me. She told me I was a bad daughter. She told me I'm going to be sorry for what I've done. But I'm not sorry for what I've done. I'm not sick anymore. I don't like being sick. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. May 10th, 1945. Mommy says I'm dying. She boarded up the windows in my room and locks the door each night. She says I'm contagious and I'll make her sick if I leave. I don't want to make her sick. I don't want to die either. She makes me take 4 spoonfuls of medicine each day. She waits for me to swallow it before she leaves the room, locking the door behind her. I don't feel so good anymore. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. May 29th, 1945. Mommy makes me sick. I hear the humming now. Love always, Mary Sue Bennett. That's the last entry in the journal. When I googled Mary Sue Bennett, I found the obituary for a 5-year-old girl. They say that she suffered from a long illness and died peacefully in her sleep on June 5th, 1945. The obituary mentioned that the girl was cared for by her dutiful mother, Shirley Bennett. The obituary later went on to say how, quote, tragic of a story it was, but how Shirley was, quote, so brave and such a, quote, loving mother. When I googled Shirley Bennett, I found a wedding announcement from 1947. Shirley remarried a baker and had twins, John and Elizabeth. The happy family lived together in this house for years, until Elizabeth and John were both killed in a fire on their 12th birthday. The source of the fire was never discovered. I'm pretty sure I know who caused the fire, and I'm pretty sure that Mary didn't die of a prolonged illness. But I have to go now. Daddy wants me to come downstairs now to eat supper, so I have to say bye. Love always, Stephen O'Connor.